Chris. And also today's missing person case is Thailand Pernia. Also today's missing person case is Destiny. Today's missing person case is Haley Bible. Also today's missing person case is Isabel Grace. Also today's missing person case is Alexa Ware. Today's missing person case is Also, today's missing person case is Erin Teresa Lawrence. Today's missing person case is Jessica Marshik from What's up, mob crew? I'm Chris, and today's video What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Having a little trouble with my screen there. There we go. What's up? If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yeah, 2 shows in one day. So, just for those that are wondering about... let me pull her up real quick here. Sage Styles, they did find her. It looks like... they found her not too far away. This was the update apparently at 5:40 because she went missing in the morning at about 7 a.m. That says Sage has been safely located in the 100 block of Southwest Parr Drive by Michael, a member of Florida's Treasure Coast Guardian Angels chapter, who was in the area searching for Sage. Sage is in good health and with the PD detectives now. Big thanks to Michael for locating Sage. So a happy ending. This is the guy that found her. So kudos to him. Not sure if this was abduction or a runaway. It was kind of strange because she dropped. Apparently, she called a friend, and after that. The phone hung up, so the friend was worried. They called 911, and when they came to the scene, they found a backpack and a cell phone, so they were thinking the worst. And then surveillance footage started coming out from a neighborhood close by that she apparently walked by, and she just kind of looked like she was just kind of walking, normally. So it was kind of odd. And... So, yeah. So, yep. Happy ending to that. But, yeah, she was gingerly walking through the neighborhood. And so it was kind of odd. So, but I guess more information will come out. So. Anyway, my cousin. Yeah. So, let's get into the current missing here. I've got a couple of special requests sent in. This is Rosalind Brielle, 14. She went missing in 2007. So, been missing a long time. Somebody sent this in my email box. So, as you guys know, if you have any friends or family members that are missing, you can email me. I'd be happy to show them in my upcoming live shows. So, it says that she was last seen at her home in Missouri. Unknown what she was wearing. But she, oh no, excuse me. She went missing on April 10th. I'm sorry, I was looking at date of birth. So she went missing, just yesterday. So, keep an eye out for her if you guys are in Missouri. This is Rosalind Brielle. And then this is another one that was sent in to me. And this was Emily Lynn Heber, aka Hippie of Yuma, Arizona. Another one from Arizona. And she was last seen February 3rd in 2013. This was the one that I was thinking of. Yeah, it's been missing for almost 9 years, over 9 years. So this was a special request as well. So 19 years old, and I've got a little bit better picture of her here. So this is her right there. So anybody in Arizona, keep a lookout for those. It seems like almost every other day I've got somebody missing from Arizona. Sad to say. So some good news and bad news. And then Ariana Taylor, the one, is such a strange story because she went missing on the 3rd. They found her car. It went off like an embankment off the freeway, and it was like pretty much totaled. It had a fence pole through the rear window, and her body, they haven't found a body, but they found her clothing nearby the scene of the wreck, and her shoes. No phone, no keys to the car, and she was with 2 friends prior to this happening. They apparently went out to drink, and then supposedly, from what the friends say, apparently they have 2 different stories, but they said that she got in her own vehicle and left, and then later on in the morning, I believe they found her car and her clothes nearby, but no body. And now they're kind of suspecting one of the friends because apparently they've kind of went silent. So, yeah, it is, Patricia. It is a very odd case. Yeah, the pole was through the rear window. So if anybody was like in that passenger seat, I mean, I would have probably killed them. But yeah, it is where it's like Daniel Robinson and the other case where the girl got decapitated and her body. Yeah, so I forget her name though. So I've been kind of keeping an eye. Apparently they found a body yesterday, but it ended up being a life-size doll. So it wasn't her. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Yeah, Arizona, you got the cartel. I'm going to be doing a piece on the missing in Arizona because they say Alaska is #1 state when it comes to the missing, but Arizona, by the numbers, it's a huge difference. So, all right, so into the big news today. I'll go over this real quick, and then we'll just kind of recap everything with Delphi, just for those that are kind of might be newer to the case. But today they released an update. They're asking for the public's help, and that's if anybody had been in contact with the Anthony Shots account, so Anthony_Shots, but this time it's with the social media app called Yellow. Now during that time it was called Yellow. In 2018 it changed to Yubo. Now what Yellow is, or Yubo as it is now, is like a Tinder for teens. So, and as for those that are kind of up to date with the case, there's a theory that they could have been catfished by this Anthony Shots account to the bridge. So, but I've never seen Yellow or Yubo mentioned in Keegan Klein affidavit, but we'll go through it together and just kind of check it out. And then, so after we do that, so I'll recap on just the whole Delphi story, just for those that are kind of newer to the case, and how we got here. But this could be really big, and I'll get into more of that in a minute. And then I just want to, that's the affidavit. Let me back up real quick. But even bigger news, well, actually, big news for me anyway. So, as you guys know, the Murder Sheet's been releasing a lot of those transcripts and interviews with Keegan Klein, and now they've been interviewing the family of Bart, the half brother, Bart, and then the half sister. I don't think they released her name. But so I reached out to them because it's Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee. And I reached out to them in an email, and I just wanted to show my support. Told them, hey, thank you for what you guys have been doing. And I wanted to let them know that I've been kind of using their material in my YouTube videos. And I also asked them if they would like to come on my show sometime. So this is what they replied today. They said, thanks for reaching out. We are happy for you to use our material in the way you outlined. And we would love to do your show sometime. Kevin and Anya. So how cool is that? So I haven't, this is just, they just barely sent me this not too long ago, but I think that'd be really cool to have them on the show sometime. So I am super stoked they got back to me on that. And so yeah. So let's do just a quick little recap of the Delphi. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Lady M. I think this would be really cool. Yeah, teenagers don't need to be dating apps. I agree. Yeah, this was developed in a French. I believe it was like developed in France. But we'll go over that. So just to quickly recap everything, just real quick. So for those that are kind of new to this case, because there's always new people that have not heard this case. So on Monday, February 13th, 2017, it was a Monday. Two girls, Abby and Libby, they had what they call a makeup day, a snow day, so they got to have the day off because they didn't use any. So they decided to go to the Monon High Bridge, and so they had their sister, Kelsi German, drive them to the bridge. And so they got there about 1:30, and so they got dropped off. And so they got dropped off right here where this little blue dot is here. And you got two trails. You got this 501 trail and the 505 trail. And so Kelsi drops them off at approximately 1:40. She watches as the girls get onto the 501 trail. The girls get on the trail. They start approaching the Monon High Bridge. Now, the bridge has what's called these platforms, 1 through 6, so that you can kind of tell where you're at on the bridge. And so they start walking, and they were using, Liberty was using Snapchat at the time. And so she uploaded a Snapchat picture of the bridge of them walking. And this was just as they were passing platform 2. And as they approached platform 3, she wanted to take a picture of Abby, who had a kind of a fear of crossing this bridge because it's very scary. And if I get some time, I'll show you some footage of somebody that walked across the bridge. It's very intimidating. So this picture was uploaded at 2:07. Now, sadly, after 2:07, the girls were supposed to be picked up a little bit later by the father. When he got there, he didn't see the girls, and when he was calling them, the phone was ringing, but no one picked up. And so they had a search party that night. They couldn't find the girls. And then the next day, on February 14th, sadly, they found their bodies across the creek on this side right here. And so later on, they had released some footage because Libby was smart enough. She felt something was off. She had noticed this guy here on the bridge walking towards them. And so she started recording at approximately 2:13. And apparently, from what they say, it's 43-second video. And so they released this like 1.5, 2-second clip, I guess you could call it. It's 48 frames, I believe. And they also released an audio, and I'll play the audio for you guys.
Downhill.
So the guys in Down the Hill are spliced up. The law enforcement even explained that this is not two people. It's just been cut up. And theories are that because apparently he pulls a gun on him, is one theory. He pulls a gun on him, and he's cocking the gun in between guys and Down the Hill, and so they wanted to take that out. That's a plausible theory. But apparently he controls them and gets them down the bank, down the hill right here. It's theorized that girls attempted to run across the creek to get away from them. They found Libby's shoe on this side of the creek. But sadly, he must have caught up to them and murdered them in this approximate location. This is where they found the bodies. They did recover the phone close to the bodies, somewhere around in this area right here. And so, and this case has gone unsolved for 5 years now. And then late last year, let me pull this up here. So late last year, ISP put out a video saying that they wanted to know if anybody had been in contact with this account from Anthony_Shots. They believe, they know that this account had actually been in contact with Libby. And so Anthony Shots was talking with Libby, this account. And the creator behind this account is Keegan. But more importantly, the law enforcement feels like that there's been two people using this account, because they feel like in these transcripts that they got, it seems like there's two different personalities in these conversations. So I think not only was Kagan responsible with talking with Libby, but somebody else could be using the Anthony_Shots account. So put this down real quick. So they released an affidavit of all the stuff that he used, because he was into Kagan was into some really bad stuff. He was into child solicitation, pornography, and trying to basically catfish young girls in his town and nearby. So I took some screenshots of some of these affidavits, and they kind of talk about which platforms that he used. And the thing is what's interesting about this new development with the Yubo, and actually, you know what, let's go over Yubo before I go over this. So just for those that are kind of not sure what Yubo is. Let me, because I'd never heard of Yubo before. Okay, just wait to load. Okay, so what is Yubo? It's apparently the Tinder for teens, explained. 13 to 17-year-olds have their own community that is separate from adults who use the app. Yubo has been racking up downloads among teens all around the world, reaching over 20 million youngsters worldwide. But what exactly is the app that's been said to be the Tinder for teens, and how does it work? So here's the lowdown. So dubbed as Tinder for teens, Yubo is a social media app which lets teenagers interact with one another. The app has over 20 million users, previously known as Yellow, and they changed to Yubo in 2018. So obviously, if they were in contact with this Anthony Shots, it would have been Yellow at the time. So Yubo allows teens to find new friends by swiping left or right, just kind of like these other dating apps for adults. The change of the name and new safety features enable app users to communicate with whomever they want by simply swiping and chatting. The minimum age is 13 on Yubo, and anyone under 17 who sets up a profile has to confirm confirm they have the permission of a parent or guardian. Let's see, 13-year-olds. Let's see. So how does it work? So it's basically if anybody's used dating sites or dating apps, it's kind of the same. App users swipe to accept or decline to talk to somebody. Let's see, just kind of getting over. Let's see. Once the app's been set to users, can discover other people's profiles on the app. So yeah, just basically it's a Tinder for teens. And so when it comes to Kagan, he was catfishing girls. He was using a model as his pick. And he was trying to lure underage girls to meet with him or send him nude photos. And so I just kind of wanted to recap on his affidavit, because what's interesting is they've never mentioned Yellow or Yubo before. And so just kind of going proofreading some of these affidavits here. So here it says the social media platforms he was using. So when this first came out, they were always wondering if anybody had been in contact with the Anthony_shots via Snapchat or Instagram, and never mentioned Yubo or Yellow before. So this is it's kind of interesting. So this is just more screenshots of what he's used, the different devices that Kagan had, what times he was using the device, and but just kind of proofreading. Most of the stuff he used was either Instagram or Snapchat, and then I believe Kik. And so just kind of proofreading this. So this is interesting. So after Kagan's interview, he was polygraphed at the Peru State Police post by Sergeant Matthew Collins. Kagan and Sergeant Collins spoke about this incident and case, which is the Delphi murders. Kagan again admitted to creating the fake Anthony Shots profile and speaking to underage girls. Kagan told Sergeant Collins the girls ranged from 15 to 17 years old, and he knew their ages because they told him how old they were. And then I had to block this stuff out because this is this bad stuff. But apparently, when Kagan was polygraphed about the Delphi case, Kagan's polygraph concluded, and apparently he failed some questions. So now his devices, he had multiple devices that he was using. He had an iPhone 4, iPhone 3, Galaxy S5, S4, a notebook, a Nextbook tablet, and an iPhone iPod Touch. He's using different accounts on these different devices, and they'd been kind of watching him since 2017. Then they arrested him, I believe, in 2020, and then they went through his devices, and so just kind of looking through. This is his Apple iPhone. And just kind of proofreading this real quick. So this one talks about Kik, Messenger, and Snapchat that he used for Apple iPhone 4. And then his 3G, it looks like there were no chat conversations from Skype or Kik Messenger recovered from this device. Let's see. So it looks like this device was used to just so he was using Instagram and probably Snapchat with this device as well. And then his Galaxy S5, there were chat messages recovered from this device from Meet Me, Facebook Messenger, and Snapchat between February 23rd and the 25th of 2017. So this was 2 weeks after the murder. But the interesting, though, is that it doesn't mention this Yubo or Yellow. So it makes me wonder if there is a second person, because and I'll touch on it here in a minute. But when they interviewed him and they played the murder sheet, released the transcript of the interview, Kagan kind of tried to throw his friend under the bus and said, "Yeah, I would get on this site and then we'd get high and then I would pass out and then my friend would be in the other room," and he would try to kind of blame that his friend would use his device when he was passed out. But apparently they've never really talked about the friend as being any kind of person of interest. And he tends to defend his dad and said his dad is not the tech savvy type and wouldn't know how to didn't know his password. But and then his Galaxy S4, proofreading through this, period, main chat conversations. A lot of this, some of this has been okay. Oh, so right here. Okay, so Snapchat and Skype he was using on this device. But once again, it doesn't talk about Yubo or Yellow. And then his next book, Premium Tablet, let's see, take a look at this. So the user of this device used multiple communication platforms, including Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Kick Messenger, MeetMe.com, Skype, and Snapchat. User of this device, conversations suggested to be moved to Kick Messenger and Snapchat. So it looks like this Premium Tablet he used a lot for communication. Yeah, I've never heard of Yubo either. But then again, I'm not a teenager, so I guess. So then his iPod Touch, just kind of proofreading real quick. Talks about anything on this one. Just talks about internet searches on this device, but it doesn't say anything about using any specific application. And then his iPhone 5, let's see. Okay, so the user of this device used Facebook, Instagram, MeetMe, Snapchat, and Twitter to communicate on chat. Most of this data. Okay, so this iPhone 5 is the device that's kind of in question because apparently I believe this is the... Let me double check on this one. Okay, yeah, this is the device I believe he forgot to bring in. Or apparently they didn't... when they went to raid the house... they got all his devices, but I guess they apparently forgot this. They didn't see this iPhone 5. And so I guess when he got back, he wiped everything and then reinstalled a couple of... I think he wiped everything and then reinstalled Snapchat. And then finally confessed about, oh, hey, you guys forgot to take this. Yes, they even talk about it right here. So, deleted multiple items off the phone before turning it into law enforcement. So, so this was the one. So, his iPhone 5, he wiped because they didn't, catch it, I guess, when they were raiding his house. And then he wiped everything, reinstalled some apps, and then turned it in and said, oh, hey, you guys forgot this. So, proofreading this. So it says he deleted MeetMe, Snapchat, obviously, But once again, nothing mentions the Yubo or yellow. And so this is, I just kind of took a screenshot of Yubo and just in Wiki here. Real quick, let me just pull this up real quick. I thought I saw something interesting. I know that they partnered up with Snapchat, but I think that was later on after the murders. Because I was wondering, well, maybe, because like I said, I don't use Snapchat, but I would think you would, if there was like, if you, Snapchat, there was like an application inside of Snapchat that was like used as Yubo, but I couldn't find anything about that. So, but just really odd that there's no mention of yellow or Yubo in the affidavit on his devices. But I DuckDuckGo'd Yubo, and there is a Wikipedia article about it. Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of this before. But apparently, so when this first came out, apparently it wasn't that safe. And then, of course, years later, they added safer. Apparently, they added a thing where they can recognize if you're too young, which they should have one where it recognizes if you're too old too. But yeah, interesting app that I've never heard of. So it's pretty interesting. But so the theory, one of the theories anyway, is that let me pull up his thing here. So let's see. So here's Kagan, and then here's his father Tony. Now the only thing with Kagan is now their alibi for that day is that Kagan said that they were watching the WrestleMania. So that's apparently their alibi, is that they were watching a pay-per-view. But they lived about 20 minutes away from Delphi in, I believe, in either Peru or Kokomo, which both of them are just right next to each other. But Kagan always tends to blame his friend about the other user because law enforcement believes that there are two different people that use this so-called Anthony Shots account. And because there's two different personalities when apparently they're talking to girls. And so there's a theory that, it could be his father that would get on his device. And they know now that this so-called Anthony Shots account was in contact with Libby prior to her murder. And even, I guess, Kelsi German is also said that she had even contacted this Anthony Shots account to apparently they communicated after because apparently Anthony Shots had asked about Libby or something, and Kelsi had said told her what happened. So it's pretty strange. So here is what they released as far as the sketch and everything, just for those that are kind of newer to the case. So here's the sketch. They had an old sketch, but this is the sketch they want people to focus on. They've removed a lot of the description, the weight, and the height. They don't want people focused on a weight range because they don't want somebody to have a tip and feel like, this person's not in that weight, in the range of the weight that they had. So they removed that, and as well as the height. But let me do a poll real quick here. Do you need the clients? One or of the clients murdered the two girls. Okay, so I'm just going to put a poll. I want to see what you guys think here. Do you think one of the two? Okay, I want to make sure I had that right. So I just put a poll up there for you guys there. So let me show you one more time. So this was sent out today. Investigators with the Delphi Double Homicide Task Force want to expand the list of social media applications used by Anthony_Shots. If you or someone you know communicated with the profile Anthony_Shots on social media application called Yellow, currently known as Yubo, please contact law enforcement. So this was released today. Okay, just looking at the poll real quick. All right, so far, majority of you, at least 3/4, believe one or both of the clients were involved in the murder. We'll let that poll go for a little bit. So we'll do a halftime real quick, and then so since the murder sheet allowed me to play some of their content, there's been some new content, some new interviews as of late with the half-sister. And that's an interview I haven't played for you guys. It talks about her relationship with Tony, who's the father of Kagan Klein, who a lot of people think looks kind of like the second sketch. So we'll play that, but let's just take a little halftime here. So this is so if anybody wants to send in pictures of their pets, one of my mods would be happy to drop my email link. But this is from Anna Marie. This is Bo. Cute little puppy. Then I had to redo this one because this is from April B12. This is Monkey with his little tie. And then this is also from Anna Marie. This is Bri. And then this is from Christy B. This is Chef. Oh, look at those eyes. Those are so adorable. Looks like a little guy, too. He's got his little toys. So, yeah, that's from Christy B. And then this one is from Lindsay. I hope I can get all these names right. She's got French bulldogs. So I'm not sure the order of the names, but it's Dobby Wan Kenobi, Gatsby, Bellatrix Lestrange, and Maui. So 4 French dogs, French bulldogs. That's so cute. So if you guys like to have your pets featured in an upcoming episode, you can email me. I show like 4 or 5 each time. That way I don't show them all and then run out. And so yeah, I would love to see send those in. And then I had to play let's see, do I still have it? Oh yeah, I think I put it up in here. Okay, I had to play this. This is from Lady M. I finally was able to get it. This cracks me up. So this is a short from Lady M.
Just one picture. Excuse me, sir. I just need one picture. Oh my God, I'm gonna fall. Just one picture for the monsters under our bed. Come on. Just one picture. Excuse me, sir. I just need one picture. Oh my God, I'm gonna fall. Just one picture for the monsters under our bed. Come on. Just one picture. Excuse me, sir. I just need one picture.
It shouldn't be.
God,
I'll,
I'm gonna
1
fall.
second.
Just one picture.
Sorry, let me pause this. Okay. Do you think one of them was BG? That is a separate question. And if not, do you believe someone else was also involved? In my personal opinion, due to the size. Okay, so we know Tony is pretty tall. Let me just show you why I kind of feel like this is my argument for Tony. And also the voice don't match with Tony. Tony's got, from what we understand, he's got a kind of like a girly voice. But here's a picture of Tony. He's a pretty tall guy. They think Tony, BG is between like 5'6" and 5'8". Apparently so the guy he's standing next to is probably like 5'6", maybe 5'7". I mean, I'm just guessing. But you can see how this guy could be kind of short. But you can see how he's just kind of towering over this guy. BG doesn't look that tall, to be honest. And then for Kagan, and Kagan's just a little bit shorter than his dad. Let's see, let me go to the Hoover Dam pic. If I got it. I do, but I don't have it. Oh, no, I do. Okay. So here's the Hoover Dam pic. So here's them standing next to each other. You can see Tony is slightly taller than his son Kagan if they're standing on level ground. And I believe he is 5'11", so I'm guessing, 5'11". So he's probably 5'9", 5'10". So I think he's too tall to be BG, for BG, yeah. I don't think the Kleins fit the bill for BG, in my opinion. But I still think the catfishing theory is pretty solid, and clearly they now with this whole Yubi thing coming out, or Yubo, I think my theory is that he was using this Anthony Shots account, but somebody either maybe hacked it, or maybe there's another friend that's got access to this account and started using that account, and started contacting the same people that Kagan was in contact with. And so almost kind of like, not like framing him, but so I still think the catfishing theory is a pretty good lead, but in my opinion, now Kagan does have the voice, and if we get time, I can play the voice again. Kagan does sound like BG, but that just could be just dumb luck. But let's see. But yeah, I just don't think. And then apparently so here's an old picture. I don't know if you guys seen this. This is an old picture. So this is Tony, and this is Kagan. And from what people that have been close to Kagan have said, he's kind of really stayed the same size. He's kind of had more of a wider frame. And let's see, where is it? Oh, I can just pull it up. But if you look at BG, he don't. Move that over a little bit. Just doesn't. With the jeans and everything, it looks like the jeans are kind of baggy. So it's. And I really think this guy's got multiple layers on. So even though he kind of looks like he's kind of got a little bit of weight to him, I think that's just all. I feel like he's got a brown hoodie under there, and probably some kind of maybe kill kit. So yeah, Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'd say he's closer. He marks. He checks off a lot of boxes. I agree. The girl's got a soul. He does. He checks off a lot of boxes. So. Yeah, he does. He does look just a little bigger to be, and then people tell me, I'm like, well, he could have, like I said, a lot of these pictures are from around 2017 or a little bit before. This picture right here is in 2017, from what I understand. This is when they went to Vegas in June of 2017. So this would be something of his frame. So if we, oops, let's do this. I can match these together real quick. So just kind of, it's not the best side by side, but like I said, this guy's definitely got like a couple layers on. So, and like I said, he's at least 5'11" from what Kagan said. And I've seen some other pictures of Tony standing next to people, and he's usually over, he's taller than anybody that he's standing next to. So he does. Tony does have that. Yeah, that's. I agree. He definitely does have a. So just if you guys want to look at the sketch, let's pull this one up here, and then. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, stuff to say. I know there's another picture that somebody used that kind of matches up. The ears kind of match up a little bit. But I mean, this face is really, there's nothing really about this. This is a problem with this sketch. This could literally anybody. I am sorry to say. But this sketch, there's nothing that sticks out. The eyebrows, there's nothing like, there isn't, the nose just kind of looks like a normal nose. That's the biggest problem with this sketch compared to the other sketch, is there's nothing that really stands out, maybe than the hair. But that's the biggest thing about this sketch, is it just, this really, I mean, you could really probably take a lot of people's faces and match it up and get something that would match up, because it's just really, to me, it's just a generic, I don't know what to say, face. On him, yeah. Yeah. Ah, looks like me. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, I'm gonna pull that down then. So, yeah, and sketches are really not, supposed to be accurate. There's usually just something that, there's something that, you take away from, kind of like the I-65 sketch where it had the lazy eye, like that would stand out to me, or the sketch with I forget the others, I forget his name, but anyway, yeah, there's usually something that kind of stands out. But let me end this poll real quick. So 74, so it's pretty much 3/4 people feel like you guys think the clients had something to do with it. But anyway, all right, let's do the halftime show, and then I will play the murder sheet. So let's see. Let me see if I got the picture in this one here. Yep, here it is. So just to give you a rundown of the family when they were younger. So this is Tony here. And then the girl here, this is, I don't think they released her name. So this is the half-sister. So she was the stepsister to Tony. So she had a different dad. I believe Bart is at the end, and then Kagan
is in the middle, I believe. So you got Bart, Kagan, and then and so Bart and we'll just say Jane. They share the same. I believe they share the same father and mother, but they're only half blood to Kagan. Yeah, that's another problem, Cindy. Is they said that the witness said that the person had reddish brown hair and facial, a thin goatee, a thin mustache and goatee. But we'll play the murder sheet, the latest podcast, since they allowed me to play it for you guys. I think they even asked Kagan a question as well while he's in jail. So, no buffering here. Okay, so everything's good. There's no buffering. Okay, cool. All right, so let's do just a quick halftime, and then we'll set up for the murder sheet latest podcast. Thanks, Haunted. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah. Sometimes we gotta take a break just from all the madness and oh, thank you, Anna Marie. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, just don't try those moves at home, okay? Years of practice. Many, many years of practice. So, a part 2 will be coming up soon. Definitely a part 2 coming soon. What made me choose Jurassic Park? I thought it'd be funny to put me... that's one of my favorite movies, the first Jurassic Park. Oh my gosh, when that came out, it was so epic. I just thought it'd be kind of funny for me to be throw myself in the middle, running from the dinosaurs. So anyway, all right, back to seriousness though. Okay, thank you guys so much. So let me pull up the murder sheet. Yeah, like I said, you can't. What's life without a little bit of laughter? Not today, Lady M. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the internet does. Yeah. Oh. Let me see what Delphi Docs. Delphi Docs just released something. I think they're just releasing what was released, but let me just see real quick. Okay, just looking. Any new information? I think they're just updating. Whoop. Oh, thank you, Susan. Yeah, I'm just taking a quick look. Sometimes I use Delphi Docs. They're really good if you ever need to, if you're into the case and you want to kind of look up some stuff yourself. You can go to Reddit, Delphi Docs, or Reddit Abby and Libby. They've got some really good information, and if you want to take a deeper dive into the case. So I'm just taking a quick peek here. Sometimes they have something interesting. Okay. So anyway, let's go into the murder sheet. And wouldn't that be cool to have an interview with them? So I'll get in contact with them. I'm going to wait and see if they'll come out with something new here. So they've got a couple of sections for those that are newer. Let me make sure I drop their link, guys, real quick. So let me copy this. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me back up. Let me get their official link real quick so I can pin it up at the top for you guys here. And then for those that are interested, especially with the if you guys think Tony or Kagan had something to do with it, a lot of these interviews talk about Kagan and Tony, and more specifically Tony in the recent episodes, and it's really alarming because he was very abusive to the kids when they were younger. So kind of trigger warning on that. So, but this is Anya Kane and Kevin Greenlee, and they've been they did an interview. Well, they got a hold of a transcript from Kagan, and then they also interviewed the half brother to Kagan, Bart, and then the half sister, who kind of renamed Anonymous, we'll just call her Jane. And then they've got a part 3. It's not as long as the other two. The other ones are about an hour. This one is kind of shorter. So we'll play the first little bit. This is talking about. I think this particular interview is actually with a friend who went to high school with Tony. So this has actually got some really interesting information because she says that Tony was a peeping Tom. So,
We know that this podcast reaches a large number of people who live in Peru, Indiana. People who know Tony Klein, or his son, Kegan Klein. If you know the Kleins, and have any stories you want to share with us about your experiences with them, please send us an email at murdersheet@gmail.com.
Law enforcement, and also ask if it would hurt the investigation, and a letter we received from Kegan Klein himself.
Yeah, so
We have heard from multiple people.
in this episode, they talked to someone that went to school with Tony, and then they also wrote a letter to Kagan, who responded back to them. So, very interesting episode. It's kind of short. It's only like 30 minutes, so we'll play about like 6 or 7 minutes, and then I pin the link
We will
to
share
their...
that in this episode.
Anya and I connected over the Burger Chef murders. Our reporting, we have been told by multiple people that Tony Klein had a reputation in high school as being a peeping Tom. Multiple people have described to us one particularly disturbing peeping Tom incident involving Tony Klein. On this occasion, he was alleged to have been looking at a sleeping female through an open window.
But that apparently wasn't enough for Tony Klein. Our sources told us that Klein got a stick, stuck it inside the window, and used it to push up the nightgown of his unconscious victim. It's an incredibly disturbing incident. A young man seemingly unsatisfied with simply spying, one who became willing to go even further to dehumanize and humiliate his victim.
It is worth noting that peeping Tom, or voyeuristic types of behavior, also can escalate. In an article in Psychology Today, Wendy L. Patrick discussed research that suggests this sort of crime can be a gateway to much more serious offenses. Anya will read an excerpt from that informative piece, and we'll include a link to the complete article in our show notes.
Voyeurism requires objectification and is predatory in nature because it involves watching someone without the person's knowledge or consent. Research demonstrates a link between voyeurism and crime. A significant percentage of criminals who commit sexual assaults report a history of voyeurism or exhibitionism. Overlapping sexual deviations coupled with an escalation in behavior lend support to a model of sexual addiction, recognizing that such addiction usually involves multiple compulsive behaviors as opposed to only one type.
This is upsetting enough on its own, but of course it may take on special significance in this case. In the police transcript we released last month, investigators discussed a rather terrifying incident. After a young woman gave her address to someone using the Anthony Schatz account, she arrived home on a school bus and discovered a man wearing a ski mask peering into her bedroom window.
Moving on, we would like to share with you a conversation we had with a woman we will call Erin. That's not her real name. She comes from Peru, Indiana, where Tony Klein lives. She shared with us a disturbing story about an experience she had with Klein. We were able to corroborate information she gave us. But we wanted to start our chat by getting some background on the city of Peru itself. Most of us, after all, don't know much about what the community itself is like. For people who are outsiders, what is Peru, Indiana like?
It's a very small knit community. Most of the people here, I would say they've lived here for a long time, and generally you either have two types of people who are from Peru. They either stay here forever or they get out their first chance and never come back. So for me, I'm obviously one of the long-term residents. My family was raised here. So, it's a pretty, for me, it's about raising my kids here. Small town, it's pretty safe, I always thought. Of course, under these circumstances, I'm learning that it might not be as safe as what I thought. We have had in the past couple of years kind of a growing trend of some more gun violence and things like that have been happening in the community. So it has changed a little bit. I don't think that people are as comfortable with, their kids necessarily taking off blocks away and playing at parks like they used to. So I think we've kind of, just in today's day and age, you kind of have to kind of curb that a little bit and make sure that you're protecting your children. But for the most part, for my family, we've always been into sports. It's an athletic community. People are very involved with the school corporations between the three Miami County schools. So I'd like to say we're pretty tight-knit group. Like, a lot of people know each other.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
When she was a teenager, Erin was a member of the Peru Deb Batons, a large group that twirled batons at various events. Erin told us about her history with the group.
So back, and I'm not sure when it started. For me, it was a family event. My aunts were involved in it. And so my mother had put me in it when I was about 4 years old. And it was pretty much a growing trend then in the 80s. It's not something that is around anymore, but it lasted for several years. It was a pretty big core group. So we had like the large core, and then we had a small core. And
okay, let me skip. She's just kind of talking about her background. Let me skip to when she's talking about Tony here.
The family was always considered rather nice and prominent. They lived in a really nice.
Okay, like, he seems fine, like, whatever. Like, I'm not thinking about this person that much, even though I know of him.
Right. Yeah. Until something happens, and then you're like, wow, that was odd.
The incident Erin is about to describe
Okay, all right, yeah, this is interesting.
Likely took place in 1986, and forever after changed her opinion of Tony Klein.
I'm pretty sure I've narrowed it down to 86. So I would have been a freshman in high school, and he would have been a senior. And I was walking home from school one day. I was also a cheerleader. And this particular day, I was in my cheerleading uniform, which I'm not someone who's super, obviously I had to wear it when I was supposed to wear it, but I'm not someone who wears skirts a lot otherwise. So that's what made it a little kind of more odd. But I happened to notice that as I was walking home, I'm always pretty aware of my surroundings. I was always kind of taught to be. And I actually, my job that I work in, I have to be now even more aware of my surroundings. And on this particular day, I kind of just got this weird feeling that, someone was following me. And so basically I turned around and I did see this guy a couple blocks back. And I didn't think a whole lot of it. It just was, again, just being aware that there was someone there. And then I just kind of kept walking. But, my house is probably about 7 to 8 city, or I guess town. I don't want to say city blocks because, cities have larger blocks, but about 7 or 8 town blocks away from the high school. And so as I was approaching my neighborhood, I looked up ahead and I happened to see this movement behind some shrubs and bushes across the street from my house. And when I took a closer look, I realized that it was the same individual that was following, like that was behind me a few blocks earlier. And so it was really odd. It really, it kind of, immediately creeped me out. And I immediately dodged and went across the street because had I kept walking, I would have been walking right by those bushes. But I went ahead and as I approached the alley, I went ahead and cut across to my side of the street and kept my eye on that area without trying to, I guess, bring too much light to it until I got to my house because it was super creepy. And as the person saw me see him, which turned out to be Tony, I knew exactly who it was as I got closer to him because I knew of him and what he looked like. he ducked down even further and kind of hid behind he kind of moved as I moved to keep hidden behind the bushes and the tree that was there. And as I got on the porch, I remember just, I'm like, I'm at home, I'm safe. My mom was inside. And so I kind of hollered across the street basically and said, I see you, you creep, and called his name out and said, you better go or I'm going to tell my parents and they're going to call the police. And he ended up quickly he bolted and took off, and I don't even remember which direction. He just was gone. But it was just super, it was just really unbelievable. I was like, why was he over here? What was he doing? I hadn't really had any moments where we were ever in an area that we were like, hi, I'm introducing myself and what's your name? We hadn't had any time that we had ever spoke or talked. So I was like, other than
Okay, so I'm gonna pause it there, because that's only this episode was really short compared to their more hour long. But this one's called "Who Is Tony Klein?" Part 3. Part 2 and Part 1 are very interesting. If you guys are really interested in the Kleins, and if you guys, because it seems like a lot of you guys are very. I feel like one of them could be Bridge Guy. I feel like the more that comes out, I think it strays me away from one of them being the killer. And then, like I said, we've heard Tony Klein's voice through a voicemail, and we've heard the family members say that he's got more of a high-pitched, girly voice. It sounds nothing like BG. Now, on the other hand, Kagan does sound like BG, but then I just don't feel like his frame fits BG. But let's take just a quick peek on Twitter. So yeah, for those that are tuning in, they did find Sage. She was found safe. It's unclear if this was even an abduction or if it was just a runaway. I just want to look on the Ariana Taylor case, because that's something I've been gonna cover or do a story about, because it's really interesting. And then we'll just kind of recap everything that we talked about. So I'm just going to see if there's anything. Let me put the hashtag so that it pops up right. Because this case is so just as disturbing. So don't look like there's anything that's come out tonight. But yeah, for those that are just kind of wondering and know about the Ariana case, apparently the friends are being really quiet about this case, and the family members feel like that one of the friends could have been involved in that. So Craig and Echo, I think it's both. We see one on video and we hear the one on the recording. It's not impossible. Tony, Joey says, Tony is creepy, but let's not arrest someone. Just keep the pitchfork crowd at bay. I think Tony, as a matter of fact, because he has, he's a diabetic. If I understand, let me check his Facebook. Because he actually does update on his Facebook. From what I understand, he had his foot amputated or something like that, or he's having surgery. Ariana Taylor, Michelle. I'll be doing it. I'll be covering that case. And I've been kind of touching on it. There's Tony Klein. From what I understand, I think he. Okay, so I guess it's not in there. But yeah, from what I understand, I'll have to double check. But I think he, and maybe somebody could tell me in the chat, I think Tony Klein, due to diabetes, had to have his foot amputated or something like that. To Keegan Klein. Yeah. From what we know, Keegan Klein was really, he just hung out on the couch and hung in his room, was just, yeah. Well, no, this happened recently, Bianca. No, this just recently. So he's been a diabetic, but, yeah, let me clear that up. He recently, I believe, had his foot amputated, but he's been a diabetic this entire time. So, what is the Ariana case? I will quickly recap that real quick before. Because it's a very bizarre case, and I've been covering it. So this is Ariana Taylor. She went missing on the 3rd. So what happened is they... her and 2 other friends were out apparently drinking. The 2 friends have conflicting stories now, but they say that they all just, after drinking, they all just went their separate ways. And her car was found off an embankment off the freeway, and it was totaled, and it had a fence pole through the actual windshield. You can kind of see it right here. And there's no sign of Ariana. And close to the scene, they found bloody clothes with shoes. The shoes that she was wearing. Very strange. No keys. No cell phone. Just clothing. And no Ariana. But apparently their the friends' stories are... not matching up, and then apparently they're not talking right now, so. Yep. So anyway, just to quickly recap, so Delphi released this. Anybody kind of that has been in contact with the Anthony_shots via Yubo, or during that time in 2017, it would have been called Yellow. They want people to spread awareness about this Anthony Shots account, and if anybody had been in contact with this account since or before 2016. So. But let me just see your questions real quick, and then I think I'm going to call it a night, because I've done 2 shows today. Cake Lake. How many mannequins are recovered in the city? Look for... Yeah, that's weird. I know, that was really weird that they found a life-size doll mannequin. That's so weird. Yeah, TK had both feet. Yeah. Tony Klein has diabetes, and then diabetes can do some really serious damage to your body. Yeah, That's why the theory of 2 people. I think for 5 years, I just don't think if it was 2 people. Unless it was family members, I don't think 2 friends. Because I would think after 5 years, one would get paranoid of the other, and you got this massive reward. And then it's more likely that they're going to tell somebody. I just don't think 2 people, in my opinion, but that's just my thoughts on it. But yes, just think about the I-65 killer. They finally caught him. Well, obviously he'd been dead, but it was through DNA, advancements in DNA. And it was in Indiana, Gary, Indiana. So I think this case will be solved. I think either through advance. I really think probably either through this new direction that they're heading with this Anthony's catfishing, I guess, or it'll be in advancements in DNA. But I definitely think it'll be solved. Yeah, I don't know what kind of doll it was, but so yeah, it said silicone. Yeah, they said silicone doll. Yeah, so weird. So could be. I think that would be really cruel if they did that, though, Joey. I just don't think that would be, to use that to get the family's hopes up, to attach this, busting a pedal ring to attach that to a case. I mean, I don't know, but I really feel like that would be kind of low for them to do that. But it wouldn't have been the I-65 killer that killed the girls, would it? No, he died in 2013. He died of lung cancer, and he went after older women. Well, not older women, but he was really kind of robbing. Like, he would rob Days Inns, he'd rob motels, and then unfortunately kill the women. And so he had multiple motives. Yeah. So just one more thing, guys. So I was trying to think about what to do with some, because it's been a while since I've done some members only videos. So I think in after each live, or not every live, but I'll have some afterthoughts or some questions that I forgot to go over in the current live. So I'm gonna start doing that. Not every live, but or not every day, but something to have some content for the members. So after the live show, I'll kind of just share some of my thoughts about what we talked about, or answer a question that I forgot to answer. So, and then if you want to send some pictures of your pets, if you haven't yet, please, love to show them in the next live show. So, but I think we're gonna end it there because it's been kind of late. Yes, I think if you could bring in more cameras to judge from their deaths, maybe the families are okay with it as long as they're very actual perp in jail. Yeah. So, yes, thank you, Karen Lee. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to call it there. It's getting late. I've gone live twice today. John Kelly's BG profile is very detailed. Yeah, I'll take a look at it, Susan. Thank you. Yep, trust no one, question everything. Yep. Oh, sounds like conspiracy. Yeah. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'll be working on a part 2 to the halftime video for you guys. So, yep. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I love you guys all. Thank you guys for being respectful in the chat. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow.